The reality of suicide in Kenya. Out of 175 countries, Kenya has been ranked the 114th in the World Population Review, placing it among the nations with the high suicide cases globally. There is a growing alarm in the country over the shocking rise in the number of suicides. Data from the World Bank puts suicide mortality rates in Kenya at 6.1 people in every 100,000, with men being in the highest risk category, with 9.1 men in every 100,000 people affected. Eddie Kimani, a celebrated media personality in Kenya who battled mental health, said that men are more prone to committing suicide due to the stereotypes about what it means to be a man. In his interview, Eddie said, and I quote, "Men are taking their lives in Kenya because of the warped understanding of what it is to be a man. An African man guards up his feelings because he fears the repercussions in a society that has taught men not to cry, not to show their emotions, and never to act vulnerable." Just the other day, Kenyans woke up to sad news of the sudden death of the Capital FM disc jockey Alex Murimi, alias DJ Lithium. His death lifted the lid on the increased suicide cases in Kenya. Murimi's death came a few hours after Kevin Gesire, a state counsel attached to the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions in Kitui, had reportedly taken his own life after allegedly failing to clinch on a magistrate job. The rise of suicide cases has been a concern as many people have taken their lives due to various reasons, among them being mental illnesses, traumatic stress like rape, sexual abuse or road trauma, substance use and impulsivity, where a drug user who is feeling suicidal gets under the influence and develops the urge to kill himself. The fear of loss has also resulted in people committing suicide. This comes as a result of one being unable to manage his loss properly. Losses like financial problems, end of close friendships, job losses, academic failures, and bullying tend to drain people seriously. Kenya loses about 4 lives to suicide every day. Research has it that for every suicide, 135 people are personally affected, which means that in a year, suicide affects up to 6.3 million people. This is very sad, isn't it? The World Health Organization data estimates that 408 people die to suicide yearly. However, figures could be high due to underreporting since suicide has largely been stigmatized. The World Health Organization further says that the number of suicides reported in Kenya rose by 58% between 2008 to 2017. Additionally, the World Health Organization affirmed that suicide was the 4th leading cause of death among 15 to 29-year-olds in 2019. The World Suicide Prevention Day is held on September 10th of every year. On September 10th, 2021, during the World Suicide Prevention event, the Health Cabinet Administrative Secretary said, and I quote, "In recent times, we have been going through a very difficult time with issues due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Our young people are experiencing unemployment as well as heightened anxiety levels, leading to increased use of alcohol, breakups in relationships, and upsurge in domestic violence." Jane, a 21-year-old student from Moi University, has had suicidal thoughts quite a number of times. She had this to say.
Hello everyone, my name is Jane, from a student at Moi University. I'm 21 years old. Yes, and suicide, yes, I've thought about suicide. Reason being mostly is life and circumstances. Say finances and family issues. So sometimes being a student, we find that we have so many bills to pay, but the income, actually most of us have no income, but others survive on small jobs. But personally, I have no income, so it's hard to survive on small income, on the help money that the government gives. You find that you're given like a few amount of money, but you find that with the rising cost of life, it's hard to keep up with, the expenses. Yeah. And secondly, family issues. Okay, this range from family beefs to maybe your siblings not liking you because of one thing or another that they hate. I won't be in particular because it's a sensitive matter, but these things happen, and yeah, they are really hurting. Another thing is relationships. Maybe you fall in love with someone, you just like someone generally, and maybe they hurt you or do something that you don't like, so you find that mostly tempted to like commit suicide. Like you're thinking a lot about why you have to stay and how much better it is when you're gone. So it's really tempting. Yeah. So that's all. Thank you.
According to the Kenya National Commission of Human Rights report, efforts to address the root causes of suicide are hampered by the criminalization of attempted suicide. The law as it stands now is a hindrance to people living with suicidal thoughts because the knowledge that it is a criminal offense makes them go into hiding rather than seek help. Perhaps as a country, we should change the law on the criminalization of the suicide to at least allow the police officers to help the families and take their relatives or the society members who attempted suicide to the hospitals without the fear of arrest, so that they can facilitate rather than hinder access to treatment. Matthew Toroitich, a suicide survivor from Multimedia University, shared his story. He had this to say.
Hi, I'm Matthew Toroitich from Multimedia University, a first year student. I come from Uasin Gishu County. That's where my siblings and parents live, and I'd like to share with you what I've gone through in life. I'm one of the suicide survivors. I once tried to commit suicide, and this came immediately I completed my secondary education. I had not made it well to the expectation of my parents and siblings, and I felt rejected at home, and I decided to walk away from my parents. And outside there, life wasn't going well. I went to an extent of living with street children, eating strange food such as thrown eggs, and I felt that life was coming to an end. There I decided to go and take away my life. I went to a certain shop and tried to purchase some poison, but the shopkeeper noticed something, and she denied me the drugs.
The goal of suicide prevention is to reduce factors that increase the risk and to increase factors that promote resilience. Everyone can help prevent suicide by learning the warning signs, promoting prevention and resilience, and by committing to social change. Together, let's prevent suicide. Until next time, thank you for listening. My name is Stacy Edith Odhiambo.